Welcome to Horror Lullabies. I am Mortified, your necro-narrator. Tonight's stories are meant to ease you into sleep or keep you just awake enough to wonder what's lurking in the dark. So settle in, breathe deep, and let the night whisper to you.
They locked me in the shed. I've been down here. I don't even know how long anymore. Maybe hours, maybe days. It smells like rot, like the floor's been drinking blood for decades. Every so often, someone knocks on the wood above me. They're not what they seem. The father, the son, the sweet old lady with the casserole. They don't run a motel, they run a business. It started a month ago, just a side job while I figured things out. Nothing fancy. Harold ran the front, always smiling. Wore a belt buckle the size of a steering wheel.
We don't get many folks these days.
Marge treated me like a distant cousin. Always cooking, always nervous. You like coffee, sweetheart? Then there was their son. Never got his name. Didn't talk much. Just stared. They said he did maintenance. I never saw him fix a damn thing. It all seemed harmless at first. Maybe a little weird, but I've worked worse gigs. Then he laughed. That weird, tired man laugh that turns into a cough. There was one room they never let me clean. Room number 6. I asked once, just once, if I should check it during my rounds.
That room's spoken for.
Then he winked, like it was a joke. But nobody ever went in. And nobody ever came out. A few nights later, a guy checked in. Walk-in. Looked like a construction worker. Red pickup, busted tailgate. He was soaked from the rain, grumbling about how GPS sent him the wrong way.
Room for one. Just overnight. You folks got heat?
We sure do. Got a quiet one just down by the vending machine. You're in luck. We don't get many folks out this way.
I watched Harold hand him the key. Room 4. I even helped carry the guy's bag. Nice enough dude. Smelled like motor oil and wet denim. Before he went in, he looked back at me and said,
Don't let the bedbugs bite.
Then he laughed. That weird, tired man laugh that turns into a cough. Next morning, I didn't see him leave, but the truck was gone. No tire marks, no receipts, no signs of checkout. I figured maybe he had an early job. Until I went to clean the room. Sheets untouched. Shower dry. Not a single footprint on the bathroom floor. The bed still had that tight tuck that only Marge did. I asked Harold about it later that day. He was working on a crossword. Didn't even look up. Hey, the guy from room 4. He leave early?
Guy canceled. Called ahead. Didn't show up.
I didn't say anything, but I watched him hand that guy the key. And now Harold was saying he never checked in? That was the first time I felt it. That tightness in the chest. The kind that whispers, "You're in the wrong place." That night, I barely slept. I kept thinking about room 4, about room 6, about the truck that vanished. Around 1 a.m., I cracked my door open just enough to peek into the hallway. And there he was, the sun, standing, still, silent, staring directly at the door to room 6. He didn't move, didn't blink, just stared. And then, finally, he turned his head toward me.
Don't go near that room.
Then he walked off, barefoot, down the hall. I stood there for a long time, just watching the dark, listening. And I swear, I could hear something breathing behind the door. Something was wrong. In the walls, in the silence, in the way Marge's smile disappeared every time I asked about other guests. I should have left, but I didn't. I stayed. And now I think they were already making space for me. It had been 2 weeks. 2 weeks of strange disappearances, rooms that cleaned themselves, and smiles that didn't reach the eyes. Harold still joked at the front desk. Marge still made blueberry muffins no one ever ate. And the sun? He'd started watching me. Not like a person, more like a coyote watches a rabbit it isn't hungry enough to eat. Yet. I kept to myself, did my shifts, pretended not to notice the keys being pulled from the board and put back without a name being written. I never asked again about room 6. I knew better now. But one afternoon, when Harold sent me to check the propane tank behind the property, I saw it. The shed. It was farther out than you'd expect, almost swallowed by the trees. Old, sagging, painted the same pale yellow as the motel, but the color had bled into the wood like something inside had tried to rot its way out. The door was chained and padlocked, but not tight. And the stink, it wasn't garbage. It was sweet and wet and wrong. I told myself to turn around. I didn't. Instead, I came back after dark. Flashlight, gloves, bolt cutters I found in the maintenance closet. They hadn't even hidden them, like they didn't expect anyone to look. Or maybe they wanted someone to. The lock broke easily. The chain hit the dirt like it had been waiting, and the door creaked open all on its own. I won't describe the smell, not fully. But if you've ever smelled a freezer full of meat that lost power in summer, imagine that, and then imagine it breathing. Inside, there were boxes, duffel bags, suitcases, purses, a child's Spider-Man backpack. I opened one. It was full of phones. Another, wallets, IDs, driver's licenses, hotel key cards, wedding rings. I found the red pickup guy's jacket, still stained with rainwater, still zipped up. There was blood on the collar.
You weren't supposed to see that.
I turned fast, dropped the flashlight, could barely breathe. He was standing there, just outside the shed.
You're not in trouble. You're family now. Family needs to know where things go.
Marge appeared next, holding a casserole dish. I still remember the smell. Cheese and rot and something iron. She looked tired, not scared. "You weren't supposed to look, honey. We could have kept you clean." I backed up, tripped over something. A shovel. Fresh dirt. They didn't come closer, just stood in the moonlight, watching.
You've seen too much now. But it's all right. We'll set you up in room 6. give you some time to settle in. And when the next one comes down that road, you'll be the one to show them where to park.
I ran. I don't remember how far or for how long, but I woke up in the shed, chained, and Harold was humming outside the door. The keys are gone. They don't leave them on the wall anymore. I think they're waiting, or maybe training me. They offered me a job, said I'd be family. And now I know what that really means. I thought it was over. I thought they'd just end it. But they didn't. They fed me. They cleaned me. They spoke to me kindly. They kept saying the same thing. You're one of us now. Then, one morning, the chain was gone. The shed door was open. Folded clothes sat in the dirt like they'd been ironed. And on top, a name tag. Mine.
Let's see now. We had Mr. Staley from Missouri, never made it to the oil fields. That young couple from Utah, the ones with the little dog. Oh, and the pastor. What a lovely singing voice he had.
Room 6 was full that month, wasn't it?
Bless their hearts, they never screamed. At all.
I like it when they're quiet.
They keep a book, not for guests, for those who stayed. Names, dates, where they were headed, where they ended up. I greet Dage as I take it back in and Mom sit up both. They had all you big and they had. They had in the place that were word. We had they stand and they found. They found the floorboard under the cot, scratched into the wood. 10, 12, more. Some had carved their names. One just wrote, "Please tell my mom I didn't run away. I'm not the first, and I won't be the last."
Well, look who's all cleaned up. You look sharp. You'll do just fine.
Breakfast is on the counter. Keep your strength up. You've got check-ins tonight.
They gave me the key ring, the guest book, and the front desk bell. We have vacancy. Room 4's open. They say it only hurts the first time.
They say St. Ives used to be a sanatorium. A stone relic buried in the Virginia woods, shuttered after a patient walked through the mirrors. Now it's a halfway house for the lost, a rehab for the shattered. But the mirrors are still there, and some reflections still move when you don't. Tessa Whittier hadn't spoken in 4 months, not since the accident. Her doctors called it dissociation. Her parents called it punishment. The court called it not guilty by reason of trauma. Now she stood at the gates of St. Ives, a place the internet said didn't exist, and the kind of place that doesn't show up on maps unless you already belong there.
Miss Whittier, right on time. We were just setting your room. Welcome to St. Ives. We pride ourselves on silence.
Thank you, I think.
Room 6, East Wing. Give her the one without the... Give her the West key.
Nonsense, Hallie. Room 6 has been quiet since she left.
Since who left?
No one important, dear. Just remember the rules. No mirrors after dusk, no locked doors, and never whisper your name aloud when you're alone. It tends to echo.
Room 6 smelled like mothballs and burnt dust. A single twin bed, a cracked tile floor, and in the corner, a standing mirror hidden beneath a yellowed bedsheet. She tried not to look at it, but that only made it worse.
You're fine. It's just a room. Just walls. Just wood.
But the longer she sat in silence, the more the walls seemed to breathe, and the mirror seemed to lean.
Hello?
She woke to the sheet lying in a puddle on the floor, and the mirror facing the bed.
I didn't touch that. Who said that?
And then she saw it. Her reflection blinked before she did.
This has to be a dream. It's not real. I'm not here.
The lights snapped off. The mirror stayed lit. Morning came sluggishly. Tessa hadn't slept. Not really. The whispers she heard in room 6 still gnawed at her. They hadn't been dreams. She knew that now. There was something wrong with that mirror. The motel lobby was empty again, except for the hum of fluorescent lights and the low drone of the vending machine. She stood at the front desk and rang the service bell.
Of course, just like last night.
Instead of waiting, she peeked behind the counter. No one. Just a half-drunk cup of coffee, cold and oily, and a small clipboard with names. Her name was still there, room 6, circled, and beside it, someone had written a time, 11:46 p.m. She stared at it. That was when she woke up, when she heard the whispers.
Coincidence or a warning?
Back in the room, she examined the mirror in daylight. It looked perfectly normal. No stains, no dust, just that old antique frame. Walnut wood, carved with delicate spirals and ivy. But something had changed. Her reflection was lagging, a fraction of a second behind.
Left hand, right, blink.
It copied her, just a little late, like it was watching, not reflecting.
This is insane. I need to leave.
She packed up fast, threw her clothes into her duffel, grabbed her charger, but the mirror caught her again. Not her reflection, her voice.
But you said you'd stay the night, remember?
What the hell?
She turned. Empty room. Silence. But her reflection was still smiling. She wasn't. She backed away slowly, bumping into the bed. Her phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number. Check the wall behind the mirror.
Nope. Nope, I'm not playing this game.
But of course, she looked. Her curiosity always outpaced her fear. She grabbed the edge of the mirror and tilted it forward. Behind it was a seam, faint but visible. The wall had been patched, like a square cutout had been reinserted. She tapped it. Hollow.
There is something in there.
She pulled out her keys, wedged one into the edge, and pried the piece loose. It popped off like a puzzle tile. Behind the wall was a camera, old, dusty, still blinking red. And beside it, a bundle of cassette tapes, all labeled with room numbers, all with handwritten dates, some from decades ago. Room 6 had dozens.
They've been watching people. For years.
One of the tapes was labeled Lena B, Final Recording. The name meant nothing, but her hand trembled as she slid it into the old cassette player on the nightstand. She hit play.
If you're hearing this, you're not alone. It mimics you. It learns you. Don't look into the mirror at night.
That's when it reaches through.
Oh my God.
Whatever you do, don't listen to it. Don't believe it. And for the love of God, don't speak your secrets out loud. It keeps them.
The tape ended with static, but something else was still playing.
But you already told me yours, didn't you, Tessa?
Stop it!
She smashed the mirror with the heel of her boot. Glass rained down like brittle ice. She stood over the broken pieces, panting, but in each jagged shard, her reflection still moved, still smiling. And now, it wasn't delayed.
We know you now. You can't leave.
Outside, the storm was beginning to die down. But inside that house, the real storm had just begun. Elena, Marcus, and Sophie stood like statues in their own living room, soaked in fear and confusion. The body of the intruder still lay in the center of the floor, glass from the shattered lamp around him, blood soaking into the carpet. But he wasn't the only thing missing life. Something inside each of them had died that night. Trust, maybe, or whatever comfort the idea of home once brought them. No one had spoken in over a minute. It was Dr. Harlan who finally broke the silence. From the top of the stairs.
I never meant for it to go this far. You weren't supposed to get hurt.
You lied to us. You lied about everything. You knew he was dangerous.
He was my patient. I tried to stop him, but Victor, he threatened me. He found out about my license being under review. He knew everything. He said if I didn't help him, he'd ruin me.
You helped ruin us instead.
We need to call someone. Police? Ambulance?
Sophie stepped forward, slow and careful, like the floor might give out beneath her. Her eyes never left Dr. Harlan. He looked smaller than she remembered. Not the wise, composed man who had once guided her mother through panic attacks and family therapy. Now he was just a trembling silhouette on the stairs. She turned to her mother.
Is it over?
I don't think it'll ever really be over.
In the corner, the old grandfather clock resumed ticking. Softly, like it had been waiting for permission. Outside, blue and red lights flickered against the windows. A neighbor must have called. Or maybe someone driving by heard the screams. Either way, the nightmare was beginning to unravel.
Let me explain to the police. I'll tell them everything. That it was me who brought Victor into this. That you were victims too.
You're damn right we were. And you're not walking away from this clean.
You should have never come back here.
They waited near the entryway as flashing lights painted the hallway. When the officers burst in, weapons drawn, they found a bloody poker, a limp body, and a house full of shattered people. But there was no sign of Victor Hale, just the trail of blood, leading to the back door, still swinging open from the wind.
We have a possible 187. 1 wounded, 1 in shock. Possible third-party suspect. Gone. Need backup. House is not secure.
We're gonna get you out of here. Stay where you are. Help's coming.
He's not dead. Is he?
No, I don't think he is.
The medics arrived. Sophie was checked for shock. Marcus's arm was wrapped and stabilized. Elena was silent the entire time, eyes focused on the hallway, where Victor had bled, step by step, out into the storm.
I'll sign a full statement. I'll turn over everything. The recordings, my notes, just please don't let him find me again.
But the officer simply looked at him, expression unreadable.
Sir? Who?
Victor Hale, the man who attacked them.
Sir, there's no record of any Victor Hale in this county. No arrest record, no birth certificate, no address. We checked. There's no one by that name.
And just like that, the story began to crack again. Was Victor even real? Or just a projection? A ghost of guilt? Or worse, someone they let in without ever realizing it? Someone who whispered their secrets back to them until they couldn't take it anymore. Until they finally snapped.
Do you hear that?
What?
The echo.
But no one else heard it. Only her. Only Sophie. From somewhere deep in the walls, from the dark corners of the house where no light had touched since they moved in, a soft voice repeated her words back.
The echo.
Because once a secret is spoken, it never really dies. It just waits and waits for someone else to hear it. Weeks passed. The rain stopped. The windows were replaced. The blood was scrubbed from the floor. But something still lingered. Not the scent of bleach, not the scars on Marcus's arm. Something else. Something quieter. Sophie had stopped speaking. Elena no longer slept through the night. And Marcus found himself waking at 3:13 a.m. every night without fail.
Why that time? Every night. Always 3:13.
The police investigation fizzled. Victor Hale's blood type matched no one. His prints didn't register. No one came forward to claim him. And then, he vanished. From the evidence room, from the autopsy table, from the system, gone.
I was wrong. I thought I was helping him, but he was never alone. There's something else, Elena. Not human. I think it was using him. Echoing through him. Listen closely to your house. There's more than creaks in the walls.
The voicemail was time-stamped 3:13 a.m. Harlan was never seen again.
I don't think he's gone. I think he left a part of himself here. Something inside the walls. Sometimes the mirror fogs up and words appear. I wipe it away and it's gone. But I know what I saw.
I tried moving out. Booked a hotel. Couldn't stay. Something kept pulling me back. Like unfinished business.
Then, on a cold Tuesday morning, Sophie found a new letter slipped under her bedroom door. No postage, no handwriting, just the words. Whispers don't die. They settle. And when the house is quiet enough, they walk.
Mom, someone was in my room.
Stay right here. I'm calling someone.
Wait, where's the poker?
The fireplace poker, still stained with blood, was gone from the mantel. The attic door, hanging open, and from inside it, the sound of breathing. Slow, steady, matching the rhythm of Sophie's journal entries. Sophie.
I hear it. It's saying my name.
Sophie. They called the police. Again. They searched the attic. Nothing. No intruder. Just an old reel-to-reel recorder. Still running.
You say this wasn't yours?
Number never seen it.
Echo 1A, property of Harlan Institute.
They took it in for evidence. But before they left, Sophie reached into the attic's far corner and found something worse. A second recorder, still warm, still recording. And inside it, a voice. Her voice. Whispering things she'd never said aloud.
This was never me. I never said any of this.
And in the last few seconds of tape, just before the static took over, a final sentence. They hear you now. That night, Marcus sealed the attic. Sophie stopped journaling. Elena removed every mirror in the house, but none of it helped. Because the thing that had come into their lives wasn't just a man. It was a frequency, a presence, something that fed on secrets and echoed them until they shattered.
They hear everything, not just what we say, but what we hide. The echo's still here, listening.
So when your house groans at night, when the radio crackles with static, when the voice you hear doesn't quite sound like your own, ask yourself, are you alone? Or is something remembering you? Because once the echo is invited in, it never truly leaves. It started with a vacancy sign that never turned off. Right off the highway, hidden behind a wall of overgrown pine and flickering street lamps, stood the Hollow Pines Motel. 12 rooms, one office, one light that buzzed through the night like it was warning you away or calling you in.
Yeah, GPS says I missed it again. It's pouring and I'm running on fumes. I'll just crash at whatever dump I can find. No, I'm not scared. It's just, this place doesn't show up on any map.
She'd been driving since noon, a freelance travel blogger chasing ghost town stories and forgotten folklore for clicks. But tonight wasn't about content. It was about shelter. She saw it then, just beyond a curve. The neon sign bleeding red against the mist. Vacancy. And beneath it, a crooked arrow pointing down a gravel road swallowed by trees.
Looks like something out of a slasher flick. Perfect.
The parking lot was empty, except for a single black sedan. Its windows fogged, engine cold, like it had been there for years or just arrived. The motel office was lit. Behind the glass, a woman sat completely still, like she'd been waiting. Pale skin, heavy eyes, blonde hair pulled back so tight it almost hurt to look at. And beside her on the counter, a single room key. Room 6.
Good evening. I guess you're still open.
We're always open. Just one guest tonight. Here you go. Room 6.
Any chance you've got Wi-Fi?
No connections out here. That's the appeal.
Her fingers touched the key. Cold metal, damp like it had just been pulled from a river. And the moment she lifted it, the clerk stood.
Room 6 is near the end. Try not to disturb the others.
Others? I thought you said...
Enjoy your stay.
Rachel stepped back into the rain. Behind her, the office light blinked once and went dark. Room 6 was the second to last unit. Its door sagged on its hinges, swollen from years of weather abuse. But it opened with a groan like a breath held too long. Inside, wallpaper peeling in vertical strips, a dusty dresser, a bed that sloped inward like someone had died in it and never got back up, and a mirror, tall, antique, cracked at the corner, but clean, too clean.
Cozy. Guess you get what you pay for.
She didn't bother checking the bathroom, didn't pull back the sheets. She just sat on the edge of the bed, stared at the mirror, and turned on her phone.
No signal, no Wi-Fi. Cool, real retro vibes. That's the appeal?
The phone flickered, then died. Battery drained. She could have sworn it was at 40%. She stood, walked toward the mirror. Something about the reflection. The angle? The way it seemed deeper than the room behind her. Like it was showing more than what was there.
Okay, haunted mirror cliche. Let's get it over with.
She raised her hand. The reflection followed, a half second late. She stepped back. So did it. But when she turned away, the reflection didn't move.
What the?
She spun, the mirror now empty. Just her. But something had shifted. The air, thicker, charged. She stepped toward the bed and noticed, on the nightstand, a folded note. Crisp, untouched. She hadn't seen it before.
Room for one more. What does that even mean?
She looked up, and the mirror? Now it showed two figures, her and something standing behind her.
Nope, I'm not doing this tonight.
She turned on her heel, grabbed her bag, but the key she'd left on the dresser was gone. And the door? Locked from the outside. Rachel stood frozen in the center of the room. The old mirror reflected her, but the second figure was gone, or hiding, or waiting.
Okay, this is a nightmare. Just a really vivid anxiety dream. I'm not trapped. I'm not crazy.
She rattled the door handle. Nothing. Then pounded. No answer. Not even from the front desk.
Hello? Hey, my key's gone. The door's stuck.
Her voice fell flat, swallowed by the walls. Like the motel didn't want anyone hearing her. Or like it had heard it all before.
I should have left the second I saw the carpet.
She checked her phone again, still dead. Black screen. No light. No life. She turned toward the mirror, stared at herself. The crack in the glass had grown. A jagged line now ran through her face's reflection, but not hers in real life.
This is messed up.
She opened the nightstand drawer. Inside, a Gideon Bible. No surprise there, except the pages were missing. Every one torn out, except for a single slip of paper tucked between the covers.
You were never alone. What the hell does that mean?
She pressed to the door, ear flat. The hallway outside was silent until it wasn't. Footsteps, descending, slow, deliberate, heel, toe, stopping, outside her door.
Don't knock. Please don't knock.
She didn't breathe, didn't blink, didn't move.
Room 6. Ready for one more?
Nope, number not answering that. Not tonight.
The doorknob turned. Metal scraping metal. But didn't open. She lunged forward, twisting the lock bolt tight. Then turned and screamed in the mirror. Her reflection no longer mirrored. It smiled, wide, too wide, and behind it, that second figure. Closer now. Its head tilted, a pale hand rising over Rachel's shoulder.
Get out of my room!
But the room was silent again, the door untouched. The reflection, normal. Her scream hung in the air like smoke. And from the mirror, a whisper.
Room for one more.
Rachel didn't sleep.
She sat in the corner of the motel room, knees to her chest, watching the mirror like it might move again. But it didn't. Not after the whisper. Not after the reflection smiled. It was just a mirror now, just glass. Only her reflection still had that thin, vertical crack through its face, even though hers didn't.
It's just stress. I haven't slept. I've been driving too long. That's all it is.
But she didn't believe herself anymore, and neither did the room. At 3:13 a.m., the lights flickered, the buzzing ceiling bulb dimmed, and the mirror shimmered. This time, she didn't scream. She stood, walked slowly to the door, and opened it. The hallway stretched longer than before, much longer, twice as long as it should have been, with doors on both sides, all with tarnished brass numbers.
Room 6, but they all say room 6.
She stepped out, turned slowly. Room 6 behind her. Room 6 across the hall. Room 6 to the left, to the right. Every door, every single one, room 6.
Okay. This is a dream. I'm dreaming.
Then, the knocking started. Not at her door, but every door, in unison. All the room 6s, knocking, together. Then, voices. Room for one more, room for one more, room for one more, room for one more. She ran, down the hallway, past door after door, each one just slightly ajar now, each one with something behind it. Not faces, not people, but shapes, like silhouettes of those who checked in and never left. She didn't stop running until she reached the front lobby. The desk was empty, dust everywhere. No ledger, no bell, no staff. Just the radio, crackling, like it was waiting. Then it played a voice, her voice.
I'm dreaming. I'm not trapped.
She stepped back into something warm. Someone.
Room 6 is ready for you now.
Rachel turned. The clerk was standing behind the desk, even though it had been empty seconds before. But she was different now. Her eyes were clouded over, like static, and her skin flickered, like an old TV glitching. Too smooth, too wrong.
I want to leave. I didn't book this.
You did. You just don't remember.
She backed toward the exit, hand on the door. But outside was black. No road, no stars, no world. Just void. Like the motel wasn't in the world anymore. Or maybe never had been.
What do you want from me?
To rest, to forget, to become one more.
The last thing she saw, before the lobby vanished into darkness, was the clerk placing her key on the desk. Room 6. Still warm. Still waiting. She was never seen again. But every so often, new guests arrive. They check into room 6. They hear the whispers, the creaking pipes, the scratching in the vents. And sometimes, if they look into the mirror at just the right moment, when the lights flicker, they see her. Rachel, still there, smiling.
Room for one more.